So the class is on recording, and like I say, once more, good evening. We're going to proceed for tonight's lesson, and is defining business objective as a business analyst. So let's say you as a business analyst, you about to start solving a problem, or there you want to capture a change or a project, want to start a project. The first, after understanding your stakeholders, is to understand the requirements, understand exactly what's going on, what is the problem and what is required of you. And this is what we call key objectives. If you do not know how to, this is where the problem starts. If you do not know how to define the objective of the project, when you look at, when we're dealing with project charter, you see that project charter will always talk about clear objective of the project. So you must know how to define it, to understand what the stakeholders need. If you do know how to capture the business objective, that is where the scope creep start coming in. Scope creep is you going out of scope, doing what you are not asked to do. You might waste a lot of time in scope creep, doing what is not relevant. By the time you realize it, you must have wasted a lot of time and resources, and that is not good for a project manager or a business analyst. So the first thing is to clearly define business objective and the goals. So business objectives and goal is for you to understand the project, to ensure that the project aligns to the overall strategic objective of the organization. These are the things you need to capture at the early stage. If you miss anything, it's going to cause a problem for you. But if you know how to do it, you have a lot of techniques that you can apply. If you don't know how to apply this technique, it might be a bit difficult for you. And that is why we have to look at various techniques we can use to capture these business objectives. It's not as easy as we think. We must apply some techniques. Brainstorming is good. You can use brainstorming. We can use workshop to gather, but it's beyond just brainstorming, and it's just beyond just organizing a workshop, doing a normal requirement gathering. If you do not apply this technique called SMART, it's going to be difficult for you. So what we are trying to introduce here is how we can use SMART technique during defining business objective, in order not to miss any action or any key requirement. So what is this SMART? SMART is a technique. The full meaning of SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. That is the full meaning of SMART. This is what you need to apply when you are trying to capture a business objective. So looking at how we can apply this SMART in any of our projects we're planning to start, how do we apply SMART to capture business objective? Okay, let's look at this SMART here. The first thing, according to SMART, is that you have to be specific. What specifically do you want to do? You must be specific about it. Then, measurable. How will you measure when you have arrived at your destination? You need to have a yardstick to measure. If you're now traveling, if you say you are going to Abuja from Lagos, how do you know that you have arrived at Abuja? You must have something to make sure. Is it that when you get there, you look at the signboard or the amount of time it takes you to drive on the highway, or the time? You must have a measurable indices to show that you have arrived. If you are pouring water in a can, you know when the water, the can is full. You must know how to measure it. So that is number 2. Number 3 is achievable. That is achievable. Is it possible to achieve this goal? Is this goal achievable? You have to analyze, brainstorm to make sure that it's achievable. Realistic. Can you realistically achieve this? Let's be realistic. Let's forget about grammar. Let's put it into practice. Let's test, is it realistic? And then timed. We know that every project is time bound. When exactly do you want to accomplish this objective? So these are SMART method of defining objective. Okay, let's look at a simple example here in a CRM system using a SMART technique to define business objectives in a CRM system. So let's look at it here. Increasing the number of qualified lead in CRM system by 15% within the next 6 months. This is, you've defined the objective of why you want to implement a CRM system. What do you want to do? Increase the number of qualified lead within by 15% within the next 6 months. We see here at the end of the day, we have a time bound. Is 6 months, and is 15%. So 15% here, that is measurable. And we are specific here, that is, we want to increase the number of qualified, is very specific number of qualified leads. So this is ways we can use these SMART techniques in every project, in everything we do. It has to be applied. And when you look at most of the, so many of you have seen the CVs I've sent, or even the project brief. At the end of the day, we capture what we call success factor or results. You can call it a result as well. where I will always talk about what you achieved. Quantifiable can be quantifiable metrics. Percentage of achievement is always what the employers are looking out for. Anytime they want something you can bring to table. Looking at this is what they want you to bring to their table. In this CRM system is very, very specific. You cannot say you do not understand what they are talking about. It means if you go above 15%, you have overperformed, that is, outperformed the expectation. And such a situation calls for a bonus. Well, if you are achieving anything below this 15%, is under performance. And the number of qualified leads. If you are then doing another thing outside qualified leads, you are out of it. If you are implementing a CRM system and working within the sales and marketing, this is what they want you to do. They don't want any other thing. Everything you are going to do is towards this. What are you going to do to increase this qualified list? If you think that integrating your CRM system with Facebook or LinkedIn will help you to reach this amount of qualified leads, then integration is going to be part of your requirement. If you feel that capturing or recruiting more sales reps is going to be part of it, then recruitment is going to be part of the requirement. If creating more campaign in so many, maybe 3 social medias will help you to reach 50%, then these are going to be part of your requirement. So you can see how you are capturing requirements, what needs to be done in your project. You already know the measurement, the measuring indices here, the benchmark. So this benchmark, you focus on your benchmark. Everything is what will help you to arrive at your destination. So that is what this means. It looks simple, but it's not that so simple. If you capture this, there's no way you can struggle in any of your projects. And at the end of everything, you are looking at the time. What exactly is the time? Every project requires time. If you cannot do this within the next 6 months, then you are not performing. You must be able to achieve this 15% within the next 6 months. You've identified every other thing that can help you achieve this 15%. But can it be achieved within 6 months? That is another question you need to ask yourself. You might look at, yes, you want to integrate your CRM system with LinkedIn, with Facebook and Instagram. But looking at the time frame for you to do this integration and test it and make sure that it's running, it might take you up to 1 year to do a proper integration, depending on the kind of CRM system you are using. So you must find a way to balance it, making sure that the integration you need to do must happen within 6 months, and this will help you to generate this 15% qualified lead. And That is well done. So that is what we mean by SMART. Do you have any question understanding this SMART? Anybody got any question with this SMART? You raise your hand if you are okay. If you have any struggle trying to understand how this SMART can be applied, you let us know. Okay, Mr. Obonna.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, please, I want you to also maybe paint another scenario apart from sales so that I can be able to understand it very well. Can you just paint another scenario, please?
A scenario within which environment?
I'm using this SMART, maybe in a construction environment.
Okay, in a construction environment, if you are building a house, for instance, now you mean to complete okay, let's say a 5-bedroom flat within a specific amount of a specific duration of time. So you can equally apply this SMART. It's just like here is specific. You see how many bedroom flats are you going to build? It's a 5-bedroom flat. You are specific about the size of the house you need to build. And you're building it within a number of time, within a specific duration of time. It's simple. So it must be measurable. Measurable, it means that looking at what can be done within this period of time. And it must be time bound. It must be specific. What you plan to do, you must understand what you plan to do. So trying to do that, build this, let's say 5-bedroom flats within an estate at a given time, that will help you to know what you need to do. You capture your requirements. What are required to help you build that 5-bedroom flat? How many workforce? How many workers do you need? How many bricklayers do you need? This time will determine the amount of bricklayers you need. It will determine the amount of materials you need. It will determine whether you are going to work overtime or you are not going to work overtime. You know the time period. So this is trying to be specific in what you need. Understand the time frame and the quantity of work required. Quantity of work required here is 5-bedroom flat or 5-bedroom, let's say, bungalow. With that, you should know the amount of, so that will help you to know the amount of money you are going to budget for that. It's just to help you, the main purpose of this to help you itemize requirements you need before you start that project. If you know the time frame, for instance, now building 5-bedroom bungalow within 6 months is achievable if you have the required number of workforce. And this is what you need. Once you capture this, it helps you to discuss the requirement with the stakeholders. If they said it's 6 months and they are only allowing you to hire 2 bricklayers. It's up to you to, is 2 bricklayers enough to build this? You need to plan. Are they enough? If they are not enough, you should know the amount of bricklayers you need to hire in order to finish it before the 6 months. How many bags of cement? How many bags of, how many trips of sand and chips, stones? So these are the things, material requirements. It will help you to understand the amount of material requirement, the amount of human resources you need. And then will help you to make a good budget. Mind you, this is the beginning. This is the first step. You are trying to understand that is the business requirement, business objective. If you do not capture it within SMART, is it achievable? You must know if it is achievable. If the budget they are giving you within this period of time, if you are a good project manager and do the budgeting, you should know that you cannot, that money is not enough, meaning that it's not achievable. Is not achievable. If the budget they are providing cannot do that, then it means that it's not achievable. It cannot be achieved. If they're not allowing you to provide enough human resources to help you finish this work before the time, it's not achievable. It's not achievable. It's not realistic because it cannot be done. You can't finish a 5-bedroom bungalow with, let's say Nigeria today, with 5 million. It's not achievable. Looking at the inflation and everything, is it achievable? I don't know, but if you start working it out, it's something you have to put in place before you start working it out to see if it's achievable. So with this, you make sure that you don't find yourself in a fix. So try to make sure that, is this realistic? The question you have to ask yourself is not because you are looking for a job and you've got a job, you agree that you can do what you cannot do. Because this is where so many of us find ourselves in a problem. We got a job as, maybe let's say, as a project manager, as a business analyst, everything you say, yes, I can do it, yes, I can do it. And then even they are giving you the budget is not enough, but you say, yeah, it's not a problem, I can do it. When you start working, you find out that you cannot do it. Project is real, you have to be realistic in project management. Like now, building a house, you cannot just come and say they want you to build a bungalow for me, and you say, okay. You must know how many bedrooms. You have to be specific. How many bedrooms do you want in this bungalow? It must be, you must know the amount of bedroom you want there. What are contained, what and what. Because we have different types of bungalows. So you must know the kind of bungalow. It can be 2-bedroom bungalow, it can be 5-bedroom bungalow, it can be dependent. So the size of the bungalow will determine the amount of work to be done. You equally need to look at the topography of the site. In some sites, you're looking at the topography, you find out that a lot of work, like a site that is slanty, yeah, you see there's a lot of work to be done. Or if you cannot compare a site that is slanty and a flat site, a site that is on a flat surface. It's going to be easier. So these are some of the things you need to put into consideration to realize how feasible. This is a bit of feasibility study you are doing here to make sure that you can do the work very well, or it can be achieved. Let me use another scenario. Okay, all of us know that Constance, please mute yourself. Okay, let us use another scenario, like an ERP system, enterprise resource planning system. Your company wants you to implement an enterprise resource, like say Miara wants you to implement an enterprise resource planning. Okay. Implementing an enterprise resource planning within 6 months is not a big deal, but it can be a big deal. Why is it a big deal and it's not a big deal? We have an enterprise resource planning you can just configure within 2 months, everything is done. But you must have to understand, what are we trying to use this enterprise resource planning to solve? You can't just say, okay, enterprise resource planning within 6 months, I can do it. First, you need to understand the problem they are trying to solve with that enterprise resource planning. They must be specific about what they want to achieve with that enterprise resource planning. That is it. What you must understand. What are they trying to do? Like in the CRM system, they want to use it to capture a number of qualified leads. So in their enterprise resource planning, what are they planning to use it to do within a period of time? If they are planning to use it to have enterprise resource plan that you can use to manage a lot of resources at the same time. For instance, Dynamics 365 Business Central, you can use it to manage projects. You can use it to for supply chain. You can equally use it for human resources. It has a lot of functionalities. But in that Dynamics as well, they have one that they can only use for finance and operation. You must understand what they want to use it for. You must understand the size of the company before you start this journey. If you agree to implement enterprise resource planning and you do not understand the size of the company, you can go to the market and buy a smaller size. So these are the, you have to be specific what they want to use it to achieve. Is it to use it to manage a lot of resources in the organization, or is it only for finance and control, or is it for HR? They want to use it for supply chain. They want to use it for human resource. They have ERP that you can use it to do virtually everything. And these are mainly for small and medium enterprises. So these are being specific and what they want to use it for. It must be clear about what they want to use it for. And the amount of time this should be taken. So when do they want to achieve this? This is the best way to capture objectives. Objective is the goal. Let us look at it from another angle. Capturing business goal or project goal. What is the goal? What do you want to do with this? That is the objective. For instance, looking at another project here, you embark on this boot camp. So many of us here in this boot camp, if you do not have a smart within this boot camp, so many of us, you continue to jump from boot camp to another boot camp, from boot camp to another boot, because you do not have targets. You don't even know what you need. You just want to upskill. But you're upskilling for what? Is it that you don't have a job? You want a new job? Or is it you have a job, you want to improve in your workplace? If you don't know what you are coming for this boot camp, after this boot camp, you still remain in your state. But some of us have clear plan of how we are going to use this boot camp. You plan that before December, you are transiting from your sales and sales rep job or as a marketing agent job to become a full project manager. That is your target. Before December, that is your target. So by December, this month, you are on this boot camp. In another month, you are already finishing this boot camp. You're already securing doing your placement work experience. You're already drafting your CV. You are already applying as so month. As so month, you're already expecting interviews. And maybe by December or before December, you're already getting your first job. But so many of us who do not have targets, they have not even applied for one job. As I'm telling you people to go and apply for jobs, they are still saying the boot camp is not over. Because you do not have a target. So you must have a specific goal in every project you are embarking on. That is what this business analysis technique is trying to tell us. The way you define your business objective. This, what we are doing, is a business objective. Another scenario is you want to cook a family dinner, or so many of us that don't have a chance within the week, you want to, maybe weekend, you want to prepare a food that will last, of soup that will last for 1 week for you and your family, and you want to cook that soup, or that you want to do it within the weekend. So you have to plan, how do you want to achieve this within the weekend? How do you achieve this? So you have to go to market. How many pot of soup do you want to cook? How much do you want to budget for this? What is the time frame? Do you want to do this? Maybe you want to finish this by 4 o'clock. Everything should be ready. If you want to finish it by 4 o'clock, then it means that by 8 o'clock you should be hitting the market. You go to the market, do the shopping. If you do not have a list of what you want to buy in the market, you might go to the market and see a very beautiful weave on and use the money to buy weave on. And when you come back home, you find out that, oh, I didn't buy this I supposed to use for. So you must understand right what you want. Be specific about what you want to achieve this weekend. And know the amount of money it's going to require. Do you have that amount of money? If you don't have it, you make provision for it. If you are making provision for it, then the time frame in weekend, there's a lot of things. A friend might come to you, let's go for this wedding on weekend, or let's go for this traditional marriage. But you already, if you want to go to traditional marriage, then you know that it's not going to be possible for you to prepare that food you want to prepare within the weekend. So you must have a target. This will help you to have a target of what you want to plan or what you want to achieve. If you are not specific on what you want, like some people, you just ask them, some of you now are asking, what do you want to achieve from these boot camps? Some will say, you don't know what you want to achieve. If you don't know what you want to achieve, how do you measure success? You cannot measure success if you don't know what you want to achieve. How do you measure my teaching? And like now, I ask you to go and review me. How do you measure it? If you don't even know what you want to achieve, then how do you measure me? Are you measuring me based on the way I speak? The measurement is based on, am I capturing those areas, things we want to capture that will help you to hit your target? You want to get a job. And I come here all the time, we chat, we interact, we go. I'm not even talking about CV. I'm not even talking about how we are going to prepare for interview. I'm not. So then how are you going to get a job? Because we are coming here, we are laughing. Oh, Charles is a very jovial teacher. Is very jovial. Well, for me, if I'm here to get a job, I don't need somebody who is jovial. I need somebody who is hitting the targets. Even if Charles is mean and I'm hitting the target, this is what I want, because I don't know Charles from anywhere. In a short period of time, I'll be. So being jovial has nothing to do if you are a businessman. And if you do not apply this technique, it's going to be difficult for you. That is what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if I'm capturing what you want to. I'm trying to use different scenarios so that you can understand it, Mr. Ogbonna.
Yes, sir. I understand it now very
Okay.
well.
So it's a technique that you can apply in every aspect of your life, not only in business or in projects, in anything you need to do. Apply SMART technique and see how it's going to work. It works like magic, because everything is like you are programming yourself. What you want to do, where do you want to be at so point. So many of us are applying it, but we don't know what we are applying. But if you have been applying it, I want you to know that this technique you have been applying in your life for a long time, you do not understand what you have been doing, is called SMART. You know, so many of us here are business-minded people. Everything for them is business, and you see so many of them excelling because they are business-minded. If you are coming here to make friends, then you should be able to know how many friends you've made in this boot camp. Some of them might be a target. I have a boot camp that I grouped the people within a group, and a lady started, she was not happy. And I said, why are you not? He said, why? That she doesn't like this group. I should put her in another group. I said, no, this group I'm putting you is for within your location, your state. So you don't want to be here because everybody in this group are female. She have a target. Because everybody, they are all ladies. For her, she don't want to be in that group. Maybe one of her objective for that boot camp is to get a boyfriend, to get an IT boyfriend, or to get an IT husband. And you are now putting her in a group that is full of ladies. How is she going to achieve that? No, it's not. I'm not making this up. This is what happened. And I put her in another group where we have guys, because everybody have their targets. And who tell you that people don't get married from the boot camp? People get married. So everybody have different objectives. So you must define your own. In everything you are doing, try to be business minded. Like what we are talking here is business objective. Business objective. You have to be business minded in what you are doing. You must define the objective of everything you are doing. Objective, what is the purpose? If you are in a business and you do not know what you want to achieve, it's going to be difficult. As we are here in abroad, some people do not have target of why they are here in abroad. And you see them just like that. There are so many of them. But some young men, you see them, they are programmed what they want to achieve. Some young men, they are ladies, they are equally programmed. They know when they want some ladies, they already know when they are finishing school, they are getting married at so time, they are getting they are having their, you see them programmed. So that is the point I'm trying to make here. And why I capture this within our CRM system is because most of the projects we are going to handle here is maybe software system like CRM, ERP, things like that, but it can be applied anywhere, whether in construction, anywhere it can be applied. Is an application, is a framework that can be applied anywhere, and it works like magic. And I say that so many of us have been doing it. It's just that we don't know what we have been doing. But this is time for you to know what we have been doing. So, let me pick one of us here. Eugene Nabugu, what do you plan to achieve tomorrow? Just let us be realistic. Tell us what you are planning tomorrow.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Charles. And good evening, everyone. So tomorrow, with the Lagos group, we have our outdoor meeting, and that is my number one target. Aside my chores, my morning chores, then after the meeting, then the rest of the things I will do tomorrow are just home related. So basically, tomorrow I plan to attend the project meeting, the group meeting, then not just to attend, but to have a valuable contribution during the meeting. So that is my target tomorrow.
Okay, do you think we can apply these smarts?
Yes, sir.
To help you optimize your activities tomorrow?
Definitely.
Okay, applying smart, specific, because you enumerated that there want specifically in a prioritized order. What, like, if you want to be specific, you need to be specific in a prioritized order, because now you enumerated a lot of things, but we don't know which one is more important. So if you want to start, you have to start by listing what you plan to achieve in a prioritized order, in the scale of preference.
Okay, like I said, sir, the basic for me tomorrow, the outdoor meeting supersedes every other activities. So that is my number one goal to achieve. Then that is my specific objective for tomorrow. So other activities are just minimal. So I'm prioritizing that one.
Okay. Now, how do we measure, how will you know when you've reached this goal?
Okay, of course, the meeting is slated to hold from 12 noon to 2:30 p.m. So when I've attended, when I attend the meeting and then have valuable discussion, and we bring it to an end around the slated time, then if I have achieved if I've gained the reasonable knowledge and have a valuable contribution, then I will know that I've been able to.
You see, there is a valuable discussion or contribution is ambiguous statement. You have not stated what you want to achieve in that meeting. It's either you want to brainstorm on how to generate this or how to, let's say, okay, the project we are working on currently is to identify influencers. You must be specific here within the, either you said we need to identify and agree on at least 20 influencers within Lagos State we need to meet. So if after that meeting, you went to the meeting and you people did not deliberate on identify the influencers and the number of influencers, even if it's only 2 people that attended, it's not the amount of people. You can have 50 people attending that meeting, but you didn't even discuss the main purpose of that meeting, and everybody have fun. As a matter of fact, you people had went out and even drank some beer, eat some chicken. You say, wow, today is very, very fantastic. But that is not the purpose of that meeting. If you people have not deliberated on identify the number of influencers you people want to meet within this weekend, because knowing that if you don't do it this weekend, it might be difficult to do it within the day, because every other day people are going to work. Nobody will have time to come out again. So you see, a bit you've not measured it very well. You must know when you have arrived there. Having useful discussion, for me, you didn't hit the nail very well. Because
Yes,
you didn't. Are you getting it?
Yes, I get it now, sir.
So that is, you are specific on what you want, and then you see how you measure it, and is it achievable? Is it achievable?
Of course.
Yeah, for you to say it's achievable, you must have today, you know, within where you live and where you are going to have this meeting. If you are a driver, if you have a car, do you have fuel in your car? If you don't have a fuel, do you have enough money to fuel your car? If you don't have a car, did you withdraw the money for your transportation? These are things that will make it achievable. If you don't have budget for this, maybe you are hoping to borrow money. I'm not, God forbid, you are not going to borrow. You know? But you must make budget for this meeting. At least commuting you to there, making sure that you get there. As long as you have every means to get there, then the achievable is achievable. And again, how realistic is this? How many people have agreed to even attend this meeting? Because it's not something you are going to do alone. If you really want to achieve this, that everybody you really wanted, and you find out that most of the people say that, well, I don't think I'll be able to attend this meeting, I don't think it's going to be realistic, because you cannot do brainstorming there alone. It's a teamwork. You must have enough people for you to brainstorm. So how many of you have agreed to come and you are sure that they are actually going to make it? That is realistic in a way. And again, time. Did you put a time slot to do this? Because you cannot go out in the morning and stay in the night. It must be maybe by 4 o'clock you have already concluded this meeting. If you do not have time, you find out that even by 10 p.m. you people are still deliberating. At the end of the day, you might say, okay, I don't think we can finish this meeting today. Let's postpone it to another weekend. Well, you didn't put a specific time. You must say that by 4 o'clock, we must have this meeting finished. And our take home from this meeting must be ready. That is time bound. So by 4 o'clock, anybody who did not attend the meeting immediately is after 4 o'clock. Anybody who is coming, you're on your own because the meeting has ended. This is time. So the meeting must have time bound, must be time bound. So this is how you can just simply apply this SMART within what you want to do tomorrow and get it achieved. And that is simple.
All right, that's very clear, sir. Thank you.
So once we get to understand this, that is the first thing we need when we start, because very soon, looking at what we've done stakeholder analysis. This will help you to identify your stakeholders. Once you have identified your stakeholders, the business analyst, what next? You start engaging them. And when you are engaging them, you must make sure you know what to do in order to engage them. So the next thing we are going to look at is SWOT analysis. But we cannot capture SWOT analysis for tonight because of time, because we have a lot to do with SWOT analysis. So, but once we understand this very well, it's going to be very easy for you to engage your stakeholders, because we are engaging them to understand their objectives. So the question you are going to ask them using this SMART will help you. This SMART will help you to know the kind of question you ask them to extract the right information. Just like I'm engaging you now, I see you as my client, and maybe I'm you hired me as your advisor based on your tomorrow's activity. Now you see the way we apply this SMART, and now you've been able, because you are not telling me you want to go out tomorrow, have a successful deliberation. You did not even define what is successful deliberation, because you do not know what success looks like to you. All you know that you must have a successful deliberation. Going out, drinking, seeing friends you've not seen for a long time, you can call it successful. But at the end of the day, when you come back, when you want to move to the next item in your project, you find out that you didn't capture what you are supposed to capture within the outdoor meeting, and you start affecting your project. You start delaying you, and nobody wouldn't want that to happen. So let's look at any other question from any other person or any other contribution. We want to make sure that you grasp this very well using the SMART. The SMART is very, very good, and you have to continue to use it as a project manager, as a business analyst, more especially as a business analyst, as a junior business analyst, as a senior. You have to continue to use it. It's very, very key for you to understand what you need to achieve. That is number one in trying to become a better business analyst. So if you have any question, let's get more sample, more opinion to see how we do understand this particular topic. Okay, like Kenneth that asked the question, you can see that this can be applied in different areas. It's not only in software application, or it can be applied anywhere. And that's why I say that as a business analyst, you have no limit. You can work anywhere, because what you are using, what you are learning as a business, the tools, the techniques you are learning as a business analyst is something you can apply everywhere, anywhere, every industry you find yourself, even your personal life. You can use it to transform your personal life. your personal business, your home, your marriage, your, any challenges you are facing, you can use it to solve your problems. So that's it for tonight. And we'll have to end it here if we don't have any more questions. Means everybody understand it very well. And the best way to learn is to put things in practice. This math we have just learned, I urge you to play around. Play around with smarts. Try to, those of us that are going to cook tomorrow, try to, before you go to market, apply smart and see whether it's going to work. So that is my assignment for us. I want you to apply smart, and just, I'm not going to ask you to do, because I want people to see how explore smart. Come up with whatever you want to do and apply smart, and share with us how you apply smart in simple thing or activity you do, and let's look at it. So you can do that and share it in our platform. I want to use this to let us be a bit engaged in our platform and see how we can use this smart. So the first person that will do that, we give us a good smart analysis in what he's doing, is going to get a 2,000 Naira credit airtime from me. So that is it.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Okay.
All right. Okay, so I wish you a lovely weekend, and those who are meeting, I wish you successful deliberation, like the Lagos people that are meeting. I wish you guys all the best. And yeah, it's weekend, go have fun. For me, I still have another class waiting for me. So we are starting our data analysis tonight. So well done. Yeah, the $2,000 will be given by Linda. Linda will give us $2,000, and me, I'm giving 2,000 Naira a time. Yeah, but the way it's going to be, you must show how you apply smart. Although I'm not going to be the judge, because if you come up with something that is not strong, your team members will not allow you to go away with the money. They must show that you can take the money, not the money, the recharge card is 2,000 Naira recharge card, whichever network you are using, with that Glo, MTN, that's it. So thank you for joining tonight, and hopefully we're getting there. We're becoming consultants with every passing day, and I'm happy about that. So good night, and